questions you and I have to ask. How did we get this mind? You're not an American. You're an African who happens to be an American. You have to understand the difference. We didn't come over on the Nita, the Pinta, and the whatchamacallit. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Landed right on top of us.
In his lifetime, Malcolm X was an incendiary and controversial figure. It's somewhat surprising, therefore, to find that in his memoir, Dreams from My Father, President Barack Obama cites Malcolm X as an early role model. But the reason is that Malcolm X's story is one of self-transformation, a story that he tells in his autobiography and that Spike Lee tells in his wonderful film biography, Malcolm X.
Before there was any such thing as a Republican or a Democrat, we were black.
The idea of a movie about Malcolm X had been kicking around Hollywood for a long time. In the late 1960s, James Baldwin worked on a screenplay. For a long time, the director Norman Jewison was attached. And finally, after some struggle and controversy, Spike Lee took over the project. And what a movie he made. It has song and dance numbers, wild period costumes, violence, sex, an amazingly beautiful sequence involving Malcolm's pilgrimage to Mecca, and a handful of terrific supporting performances, including Spike Lee himself, Angela Bassett, and the great Delroy Lindo as the gangster West Indian Archie.
This is my first gun. How is yours?
But what anchors this movie and makes it not just entertaining, but genuinely great, is Denzel Washington's performance as Malcolm X. He provides a portrait of a man in the process of self-transformation. He starts out in obscurity as a nobody, a loser. He rises to become a fairly successful criminal. Then he goes to prison, where he discovers the teachings of the Nation of Islam. When he gets out of jail, he becomes a foot soldier, a loyal lieutenant of Elijah Muhammad. And then he breaks away from Elijah Muhammad and begins to explore and articulate a vision that's not just based on racial justice, but on an idea of universal dignity and humanity.
Today, my friends are black, red, yellow, brown, and white.
This last phase of Malcolm's self-creation was tragically cut short, but it is the source of his legacy. The ideas that he came to at the very end of his life were the ones that so inspired the young Barack Obama. And the whole thing coalesces in one of the most powerful and interesting and rich, and I think newly relevant portraits that we have about how a man invents and changes himself.
A change gonna come.